What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Narcos Season 4 Mexico. Now, I want to say that I don't want to call it Narcos Season 4. It's just an extension. It's just going to be another Narcos, because when I clicked on Netflix, it said Narcos Mexico Season 1 Episode 1. So it's in the same Narcos umbrella, but it's because it's starting a new Narcos in Mexico. So meaning that it is going to have multiple seasons in Mexico. And this is just season 1 in Mexico. So with that being said, I don't believe it's season 4 anymore. It's just Narcos Mexico season 1. And you have the other 3 Narcos season 1, 2, and 3 with Pablo Escobar and with the Cali cartel. So this is Narcos Mexico season 1 review. And with that, I just have to say Narcos is one of my all-time favorite Netflix shows other than Daredevil. Daredevil and Narcos, that's just, it goes hand in hand. And Narcos Mexico was something very interesting that I've never seen before in Narcos at all. You know, you finally, because you all know the story of Pablo Escobar. Everybody knows that's the most famous drug dealer known to man. Pablo Escobar, the hugest, the biggest, the most money, all that. When it came to season 3 of Narcos, you kind of didn't know a lot about the Cali cartel, just a continuation of the story after Pablo Escobar got killed. So you got to find out about the Cali cartels, which it was good, but you know, I don't know, it felt like it was so abrupt that, you know, it was like, okay, yeah, their time, they just came and went, you know. And Narcos season 1 Mexico gets to show what Mexico was doing at the time of Pablo Escobar and the Cali cartel's rise. And this was the first time that this was a major cartel or becoming a cartel in Mexico. So you get to see the rise of the Guadalajara cartel told through multi-facets of people. DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena, rest in peace. And it just had a whole interesting dynamic of how this DEA agent came from, you know, being a DEA agent in California to, okay, yeah, relocate me to Mexico. I would like an assignment that, you know, that I could actually put my name on. And he started finding out that, yeah, you know, he was one of the first ones to see how a cartel got established. Say, Diego Luna, magnificent job playing Felix Miguel Angel Gallardo. May have that kind of backwards or confused, but just say Felix Gallardo. Diego Luna did a really good job. And when I looked at, you know, some of the stuff, the interviews that he was doing about Narcos Mexico, is that he was like, well, I'm going to just stick to the source material. I'm not going to go talk to the actual cartel members. I did not know that they were still alive. So I can understand why he's just like, you know what, I'm going to stick to the source material and just portray Felix Gallardo as best as I can. So with that being said, yeah, this was a interesting dynamic, because for as long as I've lived, you know, I've always thought the cartel was always just there. You know, it's always been a cartel in Mexico from the dawn of Mexico. I just thought they always had a cartel. But you get to see an interesting aspect of how Felix Gallardo started out as a policeman, you know, a small-time cop, you know, in Sinaloa, and how Rafa was just, you know, a marijuana grower. You know, he was kind of like, he's not like a cartel, he's just a grower in Sinaloa. And the government was cracking down on all marijuana growers and quote-unquote narcos and stuff like that. So they were cracking down on them left and right. And turns out that Felix is Rafa's, I want to say, like, brother-in-law, you know, married to his wife. So it's kind of like his brother-in-law, and kind of gets him out of trouble. And it's like, look, you know, we got to go, because we're going to be on the run. They want you. They want your head. They want, you know, they probably want you dead. So we got to go. We got to go. And they end up moving to Guadalajara and close to Mexico City and stuff like that. So you just got to see that interesting dynamic of how Felix was like, you know what? I'm not going to be a policeman anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go ahead and go into business. I'm going to treat this narco traficantes as a business. And that was the first time anybody has ever seen that in Mexico. He unionized and organized all the narcos within all the states of Mexico. And just by watching Narcos, just by watching the season, that was not an easy task. You can tell that wasn't an easy task. If that was in real life, a lot of people did a lot of stuff at that time just to kind of just accomplish that feat. And he somehow obtained that. You know, a lot of people still wasn't happy, or they just, you know, it's always going to be tension somewhere here or another. But he, quote unquote, just unionized all of the narcos, and that was something that was, you know, never before seen. When you see Rafa and knowing that how gifted he was as a marijuana grower, when they finally struck the water in the middle of the desert in Guadalajara, you know, they kind of had their plan of, okay, yeah, this is where it's at, this is where we're going to start. They started with marijuana first, and that's something I didn't know. That's why I was like, wow, I did not know that they started with marijuana. I thought the narcos Mexican cartels always dealt with cocaine. But finding out they started with marijuana first. And Rafa had the hugest field of marijuana, 1,000 acres. They said you could see his acres from outer space. That's crazy, from a satellite. That's how many acres this guy had far as weed. And they made so much money just with marijuana, because it's, you know, it's not a product that's going to kill anybody. It's just under the radar. Felix made a way where he just paid everybody off and was like, man, it's just marijuana, and everybody was just, you know, okay with it because it's marijuana. So money was flowing in left and right. And when he had to do that small mission, because, you know, the heat's starting to come on, so he did a small mission, and he went down to Nicaragua, and he saw a huge shed, you know, with DEA agent, with CIA and stuff like that. And he saw a huge shed of just cocaine. He was like, man, like, what is that? Like, he was like, man, that's cocaine. You know, CIA agent was like, man, yeah, you know, we're dealing with Pablo. Like, we're dealing with Pablo. We're dealing with the Cali cartel. Hey, look, you know, it's just that CIA plot of, you know, back then of the, you know, late 70s, early 80s, of how all that inspired, you know, spawning out countless TV shows as far as like Snowfall, you know, kind of retelling the story of why the U.S. was importing a whole bunch of cocaine, you know. So it was just kind of like, once he stumbled upon that and he saw that, he was like, man, this is going to happen one way or another. You know, to say that Pablo makes a lot of money, the Cali cartel makes a lot of money, this is going to be the wave of the future. So he saw that. And, you know, he had Isabella set up the meeting with the Colombian guy, and was like, yeah, one guy, you know, has very big emotions. The other one's a shrewd businessman. So he was like, yeah, I'll be stupid not to go with the shrewd businessman. So it was just funny. That particular episode, I was so excited for. I was like, it was late when I was watching that episode. And then when he went down to Colombia, he went to Cali, and then you got to see all the Cali cartel, because, you know, in season 3 they die, you know, but it's just cool to see them, the Narcos, bring them back to reprise their roles as the Cali cartel. And then, you know, Felix Gallardo gets to go see them and strikes a deal with them. And then right before he gets on the plane, Blackie comes, kidnap Felix and Isabella, and was like, you know, where are you taking me? He's like, Medellin, you have to go see my jefe. And he takes you to Hacienda, which is Pablo's estate. And, you know, you see a huge party, and, you know, he tells him going out in the back, and you see the hippopotamus, and then boom, you just see, you know, I forgot the guy's name, like Javier or something, I believe. And then he just reprises roles as Pablo Escobar. That was a cool, very cool episode. And just seeing Felix deal with Pablo, and how Pablo was, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm very temperamental, just like my hippopotamus. You know, I'm very temperamental. Yep, they are right. And I'm one of the baddest dudes on this planet when it comes to cocaine, because he was kind of telling Felix like, yeah, you know, you sell weed, you know, that's nothing to me, you know, that's nothing to any of us. Like, why even the Cali cartels were saying that to Felix, like, dude, you sell weed, like, you know, continue to sell your weed. We sell cocaine. That's what we do. It comes from here. So why do you want to sell cocaine? Why do you want to do it? And basically telling both of them, it's like, look, Mexico is a pipeline to the U.S., it's just another route. So he strikes up a deal with Pablo and the Cali cartels, and he's bringing in a whole bunch of cocaine through Mexico. And that's where I look at it, like everything goes downhill from after that. That, it's basically it's going to be more tension, it's going to be more bloodshed, because somebody's not eating, somebody's not, in terms of so-and-so's not getting money, so-and-so's getting cut out deals. So yeah, a lot of people not eating, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of people's going to die. Cocaine's a different animal versus selling marijuana. And you just see it. You see it unravel. Rafa's business as far as his marijuana is going down the hill, is going down the drain. So he's wondering, like, man, look, you're dealing with this cocaine, trying to elevate, trying to expand business, but you should have just stuck with the marijuana and we would have been good. And, towards the end, Felix kind of was like, yeah, you're right. I had huge ambitions and I should have just stuck with the marijuana. But he was like, can't turn back now. Then as far as Kiki Camarena as a DEA agent is hot on the trail, started really getting involved into seeing what they were doing. And towards the end, he's just like, you know what? Let's go get Rafa. They burned all of his acres, as far as the marijuana. So he's thinking that, okay, yeah, we crippling their business. Felix had to make a choice and end up resulting in the DEA agent Kiki Camarena's death, and Felix had to flee back to Sinaloa. And that's why I was just like, man, you see the continuation after that that's where it ended for season 1, and I just wanted more of it. And I'm so excited that this is happening, because you get to see the actual Mexican cartel unfold before your eyes. Another interesting dynamic about Narcos Mexico, you saw Chapo. You saw how Chapo was just a henchman, like a underling, and then eventually you're gonna see Chapo's rise into him being the ultimate, like the Pablo Escobar of our generation, so to speak. So I give Narcos Mexico a 10 out of 10. Point blank period. This is something that I've never seen before as far as when it comes to Narcos. Then you had a chance to go see other Narcos before this Narcos. You got to see all the characters, for this season. It's kind of like a special treat for you. So yeah, I'm definitely bought into what Narcos Mexico has to offer, and I'm here for it. I'm here for everything. Like I said, Michael Pena, very good job. Diego Luna, extremely well. I'm ready for season 2. I'm ready for another season of Narcos Mexico. So if you enjoyed my review of Narcos Mexico, subscribe to my channel, post a comment down below, like this video, and share with your friends. It is your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.